Tell us more about your business.
So I was working part-time, and the owner of the shop, at the bridal shop, decided that she wanted out. And the way it was put to me was, you can either buy the business or you can be out of a job in 2 months. So we decided, at the time, we were trying to save to get a mortgage, and we used the deposit to buy the business. So then obviously joined Powerhouse, put in the remedies, and since reopening in May of last year, it has just been so busy. Like this year alone, in the first 6 months, we have done the same amount of sales as the whole year last year. But now, like, even my son is just used to me talking about Feng Shui, and they accept it. They've seen that things have improved. Everything just feels easier. Like, everything's getting paid on time. You don't know where it's coming from, but everything just falls into place at the right time when you need it. Everything's just moving along nicely. It's definitely just changed. There's less stress. There's just a freedom knowing that everything will work out. I don't know how to put it properly, but it's just a relief of knowing that things are flowing now. All the obstacles are gone.
Hi everybody, it's Patricia here, and I am joined by Nicola Smith. And if any of you have been listening to the show for a while, you know that I have the most amazing, beautiful smelling Jo Malone candle. And if you remember the story behind it, I got it as a gift at the my live event. It was actually Nicola who gave it to me. And I was just telling her just before we came on, I was like, I brought it with me to America. I brought it with me here. It's on the journey with me everywhere I go. And then when I see it and light it, I'm like, oh my God, this is why I do this. And it's not for Jo candles. It's just so symbolic of just Nicola's journey, but also the journey that so many of our amazing members of our Powerhouse program have had, and the power of Feng Shui, really just the power and potency of it, to remind me to kind of get up and get out there and to share this every single day. So I have Nicola with me because it's just so magical to get to hear like real life stories of transformation with Feng Shui, like real hardcore, amazing things that unfold. And yeah, I just wanted, because obviously the last time me and Nicola spoke, the story was only halfway there, and now it's like coming to like an amazing full circle. So Nicola, where are you today?
I'm in Meath in Ireland.
You're Meath in Ireland.
Yeah.
I love it. And how long ago do you think is since you came across me online?
I would say at least 5 years.
So
yes. Yeah, definitely been following every time there was the week training programs. I do it and get to the end and I'd be dying to join. I was only working part-time 5 years ago, just wasn't in a position to join, but I kept following the group and doing as much as I could. And then last year in January was doing the week course, and I think one of the nights we did a meditation, and it was new moon meditation. I think we were setting our intentions. So that night I did the meditation, set the intention. I wanted my partner to get a new job. He was really stressed and I was really worried about his health. And when I came downstairs from the meditation, he said to me, the job that he'd been looking at for maybe 2 years had just posted online that they had a vacancy. So by the end of that week, he had his interview and got the job. So I just knew then that I had to join, just when I seen the difference that week had made. And then since then, everything has just like leaped forward. It's nearly overwhelming how fast things are happening, but it's great. So yeah, I'm trying to post it's written here, trying to think of all the different things that happened. So first of all, when I got all the remedies in place, the very last remedy went in on the Sunday night, and on the Tuesday a man came knocking at the door of our family home. I don't live there, but I still own a share of it. And he offered money to buy a piece of the land, which would be enough to buy me out of the house. And it was just like, it was crazy, 48 hours after putting in all the remedies into the house. So since then, we have now put a deposit on a house. We are hoping to get the keys now in the next few weeks, and everything is just amazing. So
I love this. I love this. And I remember when we spoke before, there was like a big what your intention for joining? What was your intention for joining and doing Powerhouse?
it was to get our house. Like, we have been trying for years to get a mortgage, and the banks are just laughing at us. Like, even when we last went 2 years ago, the amount that we were offered now in the last month is 3 times what we were offered 2 years ago. So yeah, it's just amazing.
Amazing. And that whole thing with your family and you putting that, because I remember like me doing a Facebook live and you copying and be like, oh my God, I put the last remedy in, and like this stuff is just some amazing thing has happened with my family for me to be able to get some money. Like, how long was that going on for?
Oh, well, it's 10 years since Mom has passed. So the situation with the share of the house hasn't even come about since. There's been issues with planning permission and objections and stuff like that. So that hasn't even contributed to us getting the house. We've since, with everything in the last year, my business has been improving. My partner's parents were able to help us out. We've actually been able to do it without that. Like, a year ago when we spoke, I thought that was the answer to my prayers and getting the house, and we've actually been able to do it now without that.
So, oh my God, that's so fantastic how it just works out, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's just amazing. It really is.
So tell me a bit about your business, because I know that like when you just first started, you said you were just working part-time and when you first were considering joining. So tell us more about your business.
So I was working part-time, and the owner of the shop, at the bridal shop, decided that she wanted out, and the way it was put to me was, you can either buy the business or you can be out of a job in 2 months. So we decided, at the time we were trying to save to get a mortgage, and we used the deposit to buy the business. So that was nearly 4 years ago. And I just had a good year of trading, and then COVID hit, and obviously it was just lockdown after lockdown. So then obviously joined Powerhouse last year, put in the remedies, and since reopening in May of last year, it has just been so busy. Like, this year alone, in the first 6 months, we have done the same amount of sales as the whole year last year.
Oh God, amazing.
So yeah, it's just flying. And then like, one of the other things was funny that I put on my vision board was that I wanted to chat to yourself, and then you messaged me to do this, and I thought, oh God, what am I after doing, because I never go online. So I changed it, and I was like, okay, I'll meet Patricia and we'll be able to talk. And then you did the live event in Dublin, and yeah, it's funny what you wish for. It always comes about.
I love it so much. And how would you say it's changed things for you, like in your relationship and in your family, just for yourself, like as you've gone on this journey with the Feng Shui?
Yeah, I think at first it was like, what the hell is she talking about, when I was starting? But now, like, even my son is just used to me talking about Feng Shui, and they accept it. They've seen that things have improved. Yeah, everything just feels easier. Like, everything's getting paid on time. You don't know where it's coming from, but everything just falls into place at the right time when you need it. Everything's just moving along nicely. It's definitely just changed. There's less stress. There's just a freedom knowing that everything will work out. I don't know how to put it properly, but it's just a relief of knowing that things are flowing now. All the obstacles are gone.
Oh wow, my God, I just love that. I love that description. And like when you first signed up, I think, because I remember just talking about like the when you first about the candle, and I was like, but when you first signed up, like the investment was very significant for
I
you.
panicked. I was going to email that night and like cancel, because I just did not know how I was going to pay for the direct debit every month. But at the same time, I just knew in my gut that it was the right time. I'd been following for so long, and every year I'd be gutted when I couldn't join, when the doors would open. And yeah, I just took a leap, and every single month the money just arrived on time to pay. And it, yeah, no regrets. Like, it just was the best thing. I wish I'd done it sooner. So
I suppose that's the thing of just like, yeah, especially, yeah, and I would love to hear what would you say to people who have been following me for years? Because I know there's a lot of people in the world who have said to me, like, oh, Patricia, like someday I'm going to join Powerhouse and I really want to join.
yeah, like I've been there, and you really have to just trust the process. Like, it opens the doors to so many different opportunities. Like that, me thinking that the money from my family home was going to get us the house, but it came about in other ways. Just because the obstacles are gone, you just balance the energy in the home, and everything just starts flowing. There was one day last year I was having a really quiet week in work, and there was no appointments coming in. I was just feeling everything was just a little bit kind of um it just wasn't moving the way I wanted. And I just thought, right, I'm going to go to basics. Went out to clean the front door, and by the time I was finished, like I still had the cloth in my hand. I was cleaning the door, and the phone rang. A girl that had been in with me 2 weeks previous wanted to come in and say yes to the dress. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm still in a tracksuit, had to go get changed, go over to the shop. And then I got 2 other phone calls. I ended up selling 3 dresses that day when I was at home in a tracksuit, thinking I had no customers.
I love it.
It's mad. It just, everything just starts moving. You just have to be ready and just take the chance, trust the process. It's definitely the right thing to do.
And tell me about the question came to my head and now it's dropped out again. And I was like, oh my God. That idea of that sense of flow, is that something that you would have been like familiar with, like that, in your life?
No, it was like constantly just hitting a wall. I couldn't get anywhere. Like, I remember even going to a medium years ago, and she said to me that my life would always be like a donkey trying to get up a hill. She was like, you're just going to be struggling and struggling. And that's what I always just felt. It was like 1 step forward, 5 steps back. You were just never getting ahead of yourself. Couldn't get my head above water with bills. It was just always a struggle. And now, I don't know, like anyone who's meeting up with me that I haven't seen in years, they just can tell a difference in me, because I'm not stressed anymore. I just know everything is getting paid. With the business, I don't owe any suppliers any money. Everything is just coming in and going out, and everybody's kept happy. It's just amazing.
I love it. And tell me about about your new house and that whole idea. Because like I know, like you showed me the pictures, it's amazing. And this is really like vision board stuff. And I think that's one of the big things when it comes to the program, is that coming in with a big intention that's like from your heart, because that's something that came really strong for me when we connected. You were like, I joined Firm to get my house, and it was just like everything is conspired to support you with that. So tell me about that journey with your house and finding it.
Yeah, so definitely, like you say, the last year has just all been about getting the house. And then earlier on this year, I met with a broker, and he told me I'd get a certain amount, and I was just shocked. So put a deposit really quickly on a house that we just fell in love with, and then that broker ended up leaving the business, and he passed me on to somebody else. And then he was like, no, you never should have been offered that amount of money. And it just felt like everything was going to go wrong. And I was just sat back and I said, no, that's definitely the house. He said to me, we'd either get offered one of 2 amounts. So I printed off the Powerhouse, the check to the universe of the higher amount. The broker was convinced we were only going to get the lower amount. I wrote out the check to myself and my partner for the house, and 3 days later we got the answer back from the bank then for the higher amount that was on the check. So yeah, it's all officially happening now. It's just all, solicitors doing their checks and stuff. So hopefully now in the next few weeks we'll have our keys. And yeah, it's just been amazing how everything has come about, pretty much on how the business has been going and everything like that in the last year, because like I said, 2 years ago we'd never been offered the amount that we've got. So
I absolutely love it. And now you're going to have your own home.
Yeah.
It's yours. And this is there's just so many layers to the success in this, as in, people worry about joining because they're renting a house, and maybe speak to that in terms of being in a rental and doing the feng shui, because there's a lot of oh my God, I might have to change everything.
No, it was so easy to put in the remedies. It was, there was nothing structural wise that had to go in. It was, getting a bit of metal and, putting a red painting in areas or a red blanket, it was so easy. But literally once it was done, the difference, the house, you feel the energy is different. And like I say, all the obstacles just felt like they were gone and everything started moving. Money was just coming in before you needed it, instead of constantly chasing your tail. It was just there. Everything got paid on time, and you feel lighter when you've no stress then.
Oh my God, I love it. And that's it, it's such a gorgeous story and so amazing. And I think that it's so important for people to hear this and recognize that our homes can be really just blocking that sense of flow and allowing yourself to be just calmer and happier. Who doesn't want a life that's less stress? And so it's so gorgeous. Nicola, what would you say to people who are in this world, who are listening to the podcast, who are joining me in one of the trainings, the free trainings, and they're that's okay for Nicola, she's just lucky. And I'm no.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I would have always been listening to the stories and going, oh yeah, there had to be something else going on in the background there, It can't be that easy. But honestly, you just have to do it, because you have no idea how good life can get if you're only expecting a certain amount to come to you. There's so much potential when it's you do your vision board and it starts coming true. You get excited and it's I can't even remember what the exact words was. There was somebody at the Dublin event, was it? And they said to us, we're just not thinking big enough. Wasn't that it?
Yes.
Oh no, you said it to me at the lunch.
That's it at the lunch. Yeah. Well, because we had we were at the lunch, we were chatting and everyone was sharing some of their wins.
Yeah.
And one of the ladies in our community has had a win that is beyond, I would imagine, everybody's wildest dreams. And we are all, only a small group of us are privy to it, because it's it's big. But and I was just we're just not thinking big enough, none of us.
But I'm what can I think of after the house? To me, that was the one thing I needed to get to, and now it's okay, I can go bigger. What's next? It's gonna be fun now to do a new vision board for the house.
I know. And I think this is the thing, because it's a progressive journey. It's not just I've got my, this thing has happened and that's it. It's just a progressive journey of growth. And that's what I've seen. And, Nicola, you'll have seen it in our community with our members. It's the next thing that happens, it starts to even flow more, the next job, the next opportunity, the business grows bigger, and we're all on this upward trajectory of growth and expansion. And, and I think it's really great, because a lot of our members tune into these to remind themselves, I love this because it reminds me more what we're doing and why I'm doing this feng shui and what's it all about. And I'm well, it's about helping each other, and everyone as with a better energy, and cheering everyone on in the community makes a big difference. So it does.
Yeah, the group
And maybe to talk about that, in terms of the community.
Yeah, even just the event in Dublin, meeting all the ladies, and it was so out of my comfort zone. I was like, oh my god, a day where I have to dance and everything in front of people. I was nearly not going. But I had the best day ever meeting everyone in the group, because everyone is just so supportive, and you can just put in a question. It doesn't matter if it's the weekend, and if you're off, there's always somebody in the group that has experienced it and will have an answer straight away for you. So yeah, the group is just amazing.
And I think that's really where there's just so much fun, where we can grow, expand, learn together, and just it keeps getting better, and focusing on how does it keep getting better for ourselves. Nicola, is there anything else you'd like to share that around this journey with the feng shui?
Honestly, just, you have no idea the opportunities that will come your way if you join. Just do it. I can't recommend it enough. Yeah, oh my god, I can't think of anything else now that has happened.
It's okay. I'm just so grateful for you and our community. I'm so grateful that you said yes to yourself. You said yes to yourself and to your dreams, and to getting out of your comfort zone. And that is actually, I think, one of the biggest things. And some people literally, as they sign up, that's the universe is saying, okay, she's serious.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything just starts to happen. Yeah. And thank you so much, Patricia, for creating all of this for us, because we couldn't do it without you.
Oh, you know what? I always get teary when I'm listening to these and connecting with people, because I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's just amazing. And I get all emotional. And then I'm like, this little bringing my candle with me, going to remind me. And I'm like, Nicola and her new house. It's this is so amazing. And it's so, I think also what's so beautiful is it's so tangible. You're this is where I was, and now I've got my new house.
Exactly.
It's very tangible. And feng shui, when people are hearing sometimes about it, is that they think, oh, it's just this thing over there. And no, we get tangible results from this. It's not just for fun. It's not a nice thing to have. It's really powerful.
Yeah, it's not moving furniture a certain way. It was that simple, me going out and cleaning the front door and selling 3 wedding dresses that day. It just gets things moving.
Yeah, exactly. Toby obviously agrees, so he does. He's in the background. Thank you so much, Nicola, for coming on and chatting to me.
Thanks for having me. Talk to you soon.
I'm so grateful for having you in our community. I'm so grateful for just your wins, and I just can't wait to hear and have you on next year to share what's happened since. I think this is the fun part, and actually kind of getting back to the people who've been in for a few years. I'm like, tell me what's happened now since then, because it's a beautiful progressive journey. So best of luck with your new house. Sending you loads and loads and loads of blessings, and may it just be just even more than you could ever imagined, of just magical flow for you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.